So the first spider that I want to show you is my tarantula. This is a rose hair tarantula, Chilean rose hair tarantula. She was my very first one. I got her in 2016, around November 2016. So she's coming up on 3 years. I don't actually know if it's a boy or a girl. I haven't sexed her yet. I do plan on sexing her. I do hope it's a girl, just because when it comes to tarantulas, your females can have a lifespan of up to 20 years, where your males usually cap out around 5, because their main purpose is usually to reproduce. So they're gonna go crazy looking for a mate, and then they're just gonna die on you. As far as keeping a tarantula, it's very easy. They can be kept at room temperature. They are carnivores, so I feed them crickets. I do like to mix it up and try other feeders. I recently tried mealworms and they seem to not mind them, but you don't want to feed them something that has a lot of chitin, because that will be hard for them to break down. And this guy's name is actually Baby T, because when I got him it was so small, and since I haven't, and even though it's gonna get to the point where it's not a baby anymore, it's still gonna be Baby T to me. So I really like her, and she's really easy to take care of. My other tarantulas are way too small and to interact with, so I'm just gonna show you video footages of them. I'm not gonna actually take them out. So my second tarantula is my Bahia Scarlet bird eater tarantula, and I've only had this one for just a couple of months. I did want a tarantula that gets a little bit bigger, so I decided to go with a bird eater type of species. And what he's actually exhibiting right now is he's kind of excavating his tunnels and moving some of that dirt out. And the way that they actually move dirt is by picking it up in their fangs. So it's a really cool process to watch, and you can see him kind of kneading the dirt, trying to pile it up. And this is a very natural behavior in tarantulas, being that in the wild they would most likely live underground in burrows that they've kind of built themselves, or that they've taken over a vacant burrow. So my third and last tarantula, I've had her longer than my second one, but I think I've only had her for under a year still. This is my Brazilian blue, and I absolutely love the colors on her. I got her because, and I keep saying her and him, but I actually do not know the sexes of any of my tarantulas yet, but so I should just say it, I guess. So I got it because I really wanted a vibrant blue tarantula. Blue is my favorite color, and the color on these guys when they are older is just really beautiful. She's the only one of my teas who has not really exhibited any digging or tunnel building or burrowing, and that might be because I need to give her a deeper substrate, so I'm gonna try that, or she might just not be into it. But she's a really good eater for me, and I cannot wait until she's bigger and more of a vibrant blue color. And that's it for my tarantulas. Now we're going to move on to my crested gecko. So in this ball is my crested gecko. You can see him in there. So I named him Loki. I do not know what type of morph he is, but he does have little ink blots as if he is a Dalmatian, as you can see right there. But I'm not really sure. I'm not really good with morphs on crested geckos. This little ball, I actually made it. You can actually buy something like this in like local pet stores, but it's usually really expensive. So I decided to make it, and he likes to hang out in here. Hopefully we can get him to come out. Let's see. I don't want to force him out, but you know, if we can get him out, that would be nice. All right, so I was able to get him out. So this is what he looks like. I wanted a girl, but he ended up being a boy, so but it's all right. So crested geckos are from New Caledonia, which is some islands off the coast of Australia. And so they're also known as eyelash geckos, and the reason being is because if you look close, they have those little, if he'll let me get them close, so they have those little hair-like structures above their eyes that kind of resemble eyelashes. So they're also called eyelash geckos. And so these little guys were actually thought to be, ew, why you gotta poop on me? They are nocturnal species. They're also arboreal, so they will prefer more vertical space than horizontal. They are relatively easy to take care of, and because they can be kept at room temperature, they're omnivores. You can feed them insects, but also they have a little powdered diet that you add water to. In the wild, they would eat insects and fruits. And so he's going to get a lot bigger than this. So they generally get around 5 to 7 inches, not including the tail. And as far as the tail goes, they can actually completely lose that tail. And unlike a lot of your other species of lizards, they actually cannot grow that back. And it is a prehensile tail, so he can use it to kind of help balance him and hang from things. But so when they do lose it, it does kind of take them a while to get used to not having a tail again, because they do use it so much for balance. And these guys do not have eyelids, so they have eye caps to kind of keep their eyes moist, and whenever they need to kind of get dirt or debris out of their eyes, they will lick them with their tongue. Isn't he so cute? And that's it for my Crestie Loki. And now it's time to jump into the snakes. So the lighting may be weird because I'm having to record at night. Both of my snakes were still sleeping and I didn't want to really disturb them. But we're going to start out with my first one. This is my Dumeral's boa. It is a female. Her name is Spade. And Dumeral's boas in general are from Madagascar. I've had her for a year now. When I got her, it was guesstimated that she was around a year old already. So we're gonna say that she's 2. And when it comes to Dumeral's boas, they're not as popular in the trade as a ball python, for example, but they are a really docile snake. I really love her. She's sweet. And as far as morphs, you know, you're not gonna see crazy morph on these guys. You're gonna see wild type. The only thing that really varies is sometimes the amount of like that pinkish peach color that you'll see. She has a little bit on her, but not too crazy. And she is going to be a medium-sized snake. They're going to max out at around 5 to 8 feet. She is going to get heavier bodied, and she's going to get a lot more girth to her. But you can just feel the muscles on her when you're holding her. She's really stocky. She is a boa constrictor, so I don't really let her hang around my neck too much because she will squeeze the mess out of you. Even sometimes when she's on my arm, like even now, even though she's just kind of on my watch, I can feel the strength on her. So she is a nocturnal snake, and she's also terrestrial, so she's not big into climbing. I even have a climbing stick for her, and I rarely ever see her on it. So they are ground dwellers, and that wild type color variation really helps them blend in with the leaf litter. They kind of are suffering from habitat loss, and I've heard that it is a little bit harder to breed these guys in captivity as some of your other snakes, but I highly recommend Dumeral's boa. I wouldn't say they're beginner friendly just because of the strength that they have, but if you're comfortable with a bigger snake or having a boa constrictor, I definitely recommend a Dumeral's boa. So my next and my last snake is my ball python. She's also a female. Her name is Cindy. Both of my snakes are about 3 feet long, and they're around the same age as well. So Cindy, when did I get her? So I got Spade in the summer of 2018, and she was already a year old. And then I got Cindy in the fall of 2017, and she was only a couple months old, so they're about the same age. She is a super pastel as far as her morph. Ball pythons, of course, you're going to see crazy morphs with them. They are pretty popular in the pet trade. They originate from kind of western to central Africa. They are more of a smaller size snake. you're not gonna see these guys get too big, and that's actually why I ended up wanting a boa, because I did want a snake that kind of gets a little bit bigger. So they get their name ball python from the way that they curl up into balls when they're kind of nervous, they feel threatened, or sometimes they sleep in a ball. I can rarely get her to go in a ball anymore just because she's so comfortable with being held and everything. But that's actually where she got her name from. So my cousin had actually helped me name her. When we first got her, she was curled up in a ball, and he kind of made the remark that she looked like a Cinnabon. And I was like, oh, Cinnabon, Cinny. So her name is not short for anything. So Cinny is her full name. Just like Spade, she is very docile. I actually absolutely adore her. She is like my teddy bear. Unlike Spade, she is very willing to come out and hang out with me. Spade doesn't too much like being out of her enclosure, but I do often like to give them what I call recess, where I kind of let them roam around the living room, supervised of course, because I don't want them getting into anything crazy, but just to kind of give them some type of enrichment, allow them to kind of stretch their scales a little bit, and I think they like it. I mean, I know Cindy likes it because she's always, I'll open the door and she'll come running out, like, so I know she loves it. But I really adore her. And that is it for all of my snakes and all of my pets in general. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I appreciate y'all tuning in today, and make sure you check out my next video, and I will see you guys next time.